Good morning and happy Wednesday. Hey, you have made it through half of a week, and that means we're almost to Thanksgiving, and that means we're almost to Christmas, and that means we're almost to New Year's, and that means we're almost to 2021, and you have survived 2020. But with 2020, let's not count our chickens before they hatch here, because we've still got a couple more weeks of 2020. And the hammer blows we've been getting this year, I'm sure 2020 will make the rest of the year as interesting. But I'm glad you're joining us on this Wednesday morning. At the opening of the passage in 1 Peter, at the beginning of chapter 2, Peter writes to the early church, I want you to get rid of all of these things, malice, envy, slander. I want you to get rid of the things that would keep you from being in fellowship with your fellow brothers and sisters. Now, if Baptists read that, what we read is, well, you need to get rid of sin from your life, and that is true. But the problem is, what we do is we begin to focus on the sin. We begin to say, okay, I have sin in my life, I need to get rid of this sin. So how do I get rid of this sin? Who else has had this sin that they've dealt with, and what can I learn from how they dealt with this sin? What other passages in the Bible deal with this sin? See what's happened? You become fixated on the sin. The way that you get rid of sin from your life is you starve it to death. And the Old Testament, one of the prophets is talking to God, asking how God will get rid of all the false idols in the land. And God simply says, I will starve them to death. See, the understanding is that as people brought their sacrifices to offer the gods, that was the food that the gods ate. And when you quit sacrificing to the gods, then the gods starve to death. When you quit feeding into the sin, then the sin will slowly starve to death. And how do you do that? Peter says what you do is you crave the pure milk of the Word. You seek the presence of Jesus Christ. Your focus is not on the sin, your focus is on Jesus Christ. So I'm going to study the Word. I'm going to fill my life with the Word. I'm going to memorize passages of Scripture. I'm going to get that in my head. I'm going to get that in my heart. I'm going to read big chunks of the Bible. I'm going to memorize big chunks of the Bible. That's what I'm going to talk about with my friends. It's what I'm going to talk about with my families. It's certainly what I'm going to talk about in my small group and around church. This is what I'm reading. This is what the Lord is teaching me. That will become the focus. And the sins will die of starvation. You don't overcome slander by walking around going, today I'm not going to slander, today I'm not going to slander. You get rid of slander by saying, today I will speak like Christ. See the difference? You know, if you have something in a glass, you can spend a lot of time trying to get the rag down in there with your hand and trying to scrub the glass, or you can put the glass under running water, and the water will fill the glass and keep filling the glass until it floats all of the other stuff out. That's what Peter's talking about. Fill your life with Christ. Keep filling your life with Christ to the point that everything besides Christ gets flushed out, gets washed out. Okay? So there you are. Get rid of these things. How do we do that? By filling your life with Christ. So how are you going to do that this next week? I'll give you 60 seconds, and I'll see you tomorrow.